Hello. Well, when I left school in 1970, I went to work at a large, very prestigious department store in Birmingham. And I was at various departments. I started off on, let me see, uh, lighting, electric lighting, chandeliers and all things like that. And then I went from there down to the gents outfitting or gents outfitters, whichever. They did ties, shirts, dress shirts, jackets. I think they did. I think they did suits as well, dressing gowns. And there used to be a chap on there that he was in charge of the dressing gowns and the socks, and he used to model them for some of these elderly ladies that came in. He looked very much like Julian Orchard, if any of you remember Julian Orchard from comedy series years ago. Um, where did I go from there? I went to the book department from there, and then I went back to the gents outfitting. I'll come to that in a minute. And then I went back to the book department. And then I came. Anyway, and on it went. And I think finally I was on the gents outfit. No, I wasn't. I was on the book department for some time before I left. Anyway, but still, a lot of the members of staff, as I look back a couple of years later, that were on the gents outfitting. Oh, and dress fabrics, that was another one. A lot of the staff were very reminiscent of characters that appeared in Are You Being Served with John Inman, etc. Trevor Bannister and all those sorts of people had the same sort of personalities, etc. And it was astonishing to watch on television at the time. Anyway, this is the first series of Are You Being Served? And it includes the pilot. You can see there Mr. Humphreys on there, and Mrs. Slocum with a pair of knickknacks saying Grace Brothers, Captain Peacock. Um, I've forgotten the name now anyway. But it was produced by David Croft, and it was written by Jeremy Lloyd and David Croft. And it starred Wendy Richards as well, Trevor Bannister, Nicholas Smith, Harold Bennett. Can't see the other actual members, actors that played parts in there. The Miss Brahms, of course, Mrs. Slocum and a bouffant. Yes, there was definitely a lady like that, as I remember, but I think it was like a sort of bluey colour anyway. This is a series hugely successful back in the day, and it says contains mild language and sex references. Now, this particular copy came from a sale at Ellesmere Port Library years and years ago. It says no insert, and I can't remember for the life of me what I paid for this. I've got all of them anyway. The complete first series, including the pilot episode starring Mr. I'm Free Humphreys, outrageous bouffant Mrs. Slocum, naive Miss Brahms, haughty Captain Peacock, and the rest of the Grace Brothers staff. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes in total. The pilot, Are You Being Served? After reorganisation, the ladies' intimate apparel and the men's ready-to-wear departments are forced to share the same floor. Second episode, Dear Sexy, not allowed to say that word now. Mr. Lucas' attempt to send a love letter to Miss Brahms goes awry when his note lands in the wrong hands. Well, that's why you see that picture of Mrs. Slocum. See? with Grace Brothers on the front anyway. Everyone is stranded at the store after a transport strike. Young Mr. Grace, who's as ancient as Methuselah, allows them to spend the night in the store, but not everyone's happy with the sleeping arrangements. And on and on and on it goes. It's in 4.3 definition, and this series lasts 175 minutes. It very, very successful. It went on. A couple of people, I think a couple of people died along the line or were replaced. But it was still fun nonetheless. Towards the end of the run, I can't remember how many series now, it got a little bit forced, and I thought, yeah, it's wearing a little bit thin now. But still, Mr. Humphreys, I think, was one of the main characters that that people liked in it. And let me see. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the thing here. But if I can just pick this sticker off, in fact, I'll take the insert out and hopefully be able to see it. No, it's actually stuck on there anyway. I know that various of the others appeared in different comedies, etc., and straight things, but nonetheless, in its day, it was very funny. I'm sure now probably some people would take offence. Silly, isn't it? Mr. Humphreys was very popular in America because basically he was playing that character all the way along. So the Are You Being Served was shown in America, massive hit over there. I don't know if they tried remaking it for themselves. Quite often those sorts of things don't transfer across the Atlantic anyway. But still, maybe you have some memories of this or a favourite episode. I'd love to hear about that. Now, if you've enjoyed seeing this or hearing me babble on, please tick a like. And if you've not subscribed, well, now is a good time to subscribe. And it's nice. It's nice having you here, and it helps small channels like myself. Not particularly financially, because I don't have that many people on, but I do enjoy showing you these things anyway. Okay, have a great day. Bye for now.